Welcome back to Predicting the NFL with Mickey G. It's yours truly once again, Mickey G. And last week we had a pretty solid week, okay? We went 11-4, a little bit of a downgrade from last week, but I don't know if we're going to ever reach that mark again. 13-1 was pretty impressive. But 11-4 this week. The game of the week we got incorrect. The upset we also got incorrect. The crap fest we got correct. The Falcons lost. They were the Jersey team, and I picked them to win, so that was also incorrect. So, good record, but the special games were a little bit of a struggle. So far this season now, we are 65-42, 3-4 in the game of the week, 2-5 in upsets, 4-3 in crap fests, 4-3 teams 4-3 when we're at the Jersey, and 3-4 at picking the Jersey games. For week 7 all time, I am 58-28, so pretty good week historically. 3-2 in the game of the week, 0-6 in upsets. We have yet to get one there. 3-2 in the crap fests, 2-1 in Jersey team. Jersey teams are 2-1, and I'm 1-1 in my Jersey picks. One of those games I wore Buckeyes, so that's why those don't match up. So let's talk about how last week went. Well, the Jags had a huge London victory over the Patriots. They played functional football. Trevor had one of the most beautiful passes I've ever seen to BTJ, and it was magnificent. And they will likely not be doing anything near that next week against the Packers. The Colts and the Dolphins had a terrible game. Anthony Richardson did play and did look bad and barely beat a terrible Dolphins team that ended up having to play Tim Boyle because Huntley got hurt and Skylar Thompson was also hurt, and just the entire team is just gross, man. The Titans, they lost to the Bills. However, we did not get Will Levis at all. Mason Rudolph played the whole time, and he was doing pretty decent in the first half, and then the Bills realized they were playing the Titans, so they locked in and beat the crap out of them. The Bengals beat the Browns on a close one, only won by 7, but Deshaun Watson did tear his Achilles or something. He's now out for the season, and that means we get some famous Jameis time, and I am excited. He got like 1 or 2 drives, I think, in the game because they technically had DTR as the backup for the game, so people wouldn't chant for Winston to go in, and then DTR also got hurt, so then Winston got to play as the emergency quarterback, and he scored a touchdown. So that was exciting stuff. The Steelers crushed the Jets on Sunday night. It was not a close game at all. Great job by the Steelers. The Broncos completely destroyed the Saints on Thursday night. Rattler, I think, even got benched partway through because he was looking bad. And the Broncos defense, man, is impressive. The Texans and the Packers. The Packers came away with it, and it shouldn't have been as close as it was. If Love didn't throw so many turnovers and interception stuff, it would not have been close because C.J. Stroud had probably his worst game of his career. Just real bad looking stats. The Raiders and the Rams. The Rams were able to come away with this one. The Raiders are looking bad. Gardner had an awful game. But the Rams should be getting Cooper Kupp back this week. They didn't get him last week, but he should be coming back this week, so that's a big push for them. The Chiefs beat the 49ers. I was incorrect in my prediction there. The Chiefs just can't be beat, man. Both quarterbacks did not play great, especially Mahomes. I don't even think he threw a touchdown pass, but they still ended up winning, which is ridiculous. The Ravens and the Buccaneers had an interesting one. It was pretty much all Ravens, and at the end, the Buccaneers started scoring a little more points. They got it close. They got an onside kick. They scored another touchdown. Unfortunately, though, both Mike Evans and Chris Godwin got hurt in the game. Godwin likely out for the season. Evans will miss at least a game or two. The Chargers and the Cardinals played a gross game, real nasty game, 17-15. Herbert had one of the best games of his career, efficiency and just overall success, but his team could not catch the football. Jalen Reagor decided to fumble the ball out of the end zone for a touchback, which cost them what likely have been a game-winning touchdown earlier in the game. They need to get some receivers, man. It's actually ridiculous. The Lions and the Vikings did live up to their Game of the Week title. Great game, back and forth, a 2-point victory for the Lions, I believe, on a last-second field goal. So very great game there. It'll be interesting to see what happens the next time the two teams meet. The Seahawks completely destroyed the Falcons. Very incorrect in that. Kirk and friends did not look very good in that one. Disappointed by their performance, but we'll see what the Seahawks can do, because some of these games they win and I'm surprised, some of these games they lose and I'm surprised, so I still have no real read on them. The Eagles completely destroyed the Giants, not even a contest there. A lot of sacks, I believe, in that game. I was watching Red Zone, they would cut back to them, and then someone would get sacked. They'd just get back and forth the whole game. It was gross. And Washington beat up on the Panthers. Huge win for them. However, Jayden Daniels is hurt in the game, and now he's questionable to play this week. They might ride with Mariota, but because they don't want to rush back Jayden Daniels, which is an understandable thing. I mean, he's a rookie quarterback, keep him healthy, and Mariota is a serviceable backup. However, also after the game, a couple days later, Andy Dalton got injured in a car accident. He hurt his thumb, so Bryce Young is actually going to be the one playing this week for the Panthers. So bet the under on their points is what I'm telling you right there. So that was how last week went, so let's move into our predictions. The first game on our list is the Colts at the Texans. Texans had a bit of a stinker last week offensively. However, I don't think it's going to matter. The Colts are bad and Anthony Richardson is still playing. So the Texans should be able to run away with this one. Next is the Ravens at the Browns. The Browns are going to be having Jameis Winston playing quarterback, and so that's a big plus for them. However, the Ravens are still one of, if not the best team in the league right now. They're on a hot streak, 6 straight victories for them, and I don't think they're going to slow down against the Browns. So the Ravens are going to get this one. Next is the Jets at the Patriots. This is our crap fest of the week, okay? Jets fans, I hate to say it to you, but Devontae Adams joining the squad did not do anything to help that team. They are still bad. They're still completely overrated. They have 2 victories, and they're going to get their 3rd, however. The Patriots are bad. Drake May is trying his best, but unfortunately, the rest of the team is just not good. The Jets are going to be able to win this one. The Chiefs at the Raiders. The Chiefs lost to the Raiders last year in one of their games, and that was I think that's the last team to beat them, actually. However, I don't think they're going to get it done this year. Their team is looking really rough. Gardner's not been playing well. AOC is hurt, so he doesn't even get a chance to play, even though he didn't play great either in the game that he started. They're kind of a mess, and I don't think they're going to perform well against the Chiefs. Next is the Packers at the Jaguars. Jaguars, they're running up against a great team. And the Packers are on a hot moving spot as well. If they want to stay ahead in that division, they got to keep winning. So I think they're going to stay ahead here. Jordan Love and Trevor, I hope to have a good game back and forth between them. Maybe the Jaguars will get a turnover off of them because Love's been throwing a lot of interceptions so far. But the Packers are definitely getting this one. The Cardinals at the Dolphins. This is our upset of the week. Now, you might be wondering which team I'm choosing then. So, I didn't really like any of these games as upsets, but I liked the picks that I was making. So, I checked the lines, and the Dolphins are fairly heavily favored in this one, actually. Tua's coming back, and they think that's going to turn around the offense. They must not have watched the first 2 weeks of the season when the offense still looked bad with Tua at QB. And here's the thing. He's coming back from a concussion. Historically, Tua has not played well when coming back from a concussion. Yes, the Cardinals aren't very good, but I still think they're going to win this game over the Dolphins. Next is the Titans at the Lions. The Lions are potentially the top team in the NFC. I hate to say it, but they might be that team. The Titans might be the worst team in the AFC. So I think we know how this one's going to go. The Lions are going to crush them. Next is the Bills at the Seahawks. This one, I'm struggling to make the pick here. I don't know how I feel about either of these teams. I think they both might have a little bit of inflated records, but I usually do go AFC over NFC. I think the AFC normally in the last few years has been a lot stronger, and I think I'm going to do the same thing here. This is, however, also our game of the week. This is surprisingly the best matchup between teams. There was a chance later on for maybe something, but due to injuries, I don't like it as much. So this is our game of the week, but it should be high scoring. I hope so. And the Bills' offense, once they locked in, did look pretty good with adding Amari Cooper. So I think they should be able to do this. Next is the Saints at the Chargers. The Chargers with a gross loss last week. I don't think that's going to be the case here. The Saints are very, very injured, and they don't really have a quarterback on the roster besides Carr. I don't think he's coming back yet. So the Chargers should be able to win this one. Next is the Panthers at the Broncos. Bryce Young is going to be going up against potentially the best defense in the AFC. I don't think they're quite the best team in the NFL. I still like the Vikings a lot, but I think they might be number 2, and they're playing great football right now. And I'm also wearing the Kerry Collins jersey. So this is our jersey game this week, and I don't think it's going to help the Panthers win at all. Just like last week, it did not help the Falcons win. So the Broncos are getting this one. Next is the Eagles at the Bengals. Eagles are bad. I don't think the Bengals are super either, but they've been playing a lot better recently, just not able to get a ton of wins, but I think they can do it this one. The Eagles I'm very low on, very low. They just have a fairly easy schedule, surprisingly, but I think the Bengals are able to get this one here. Next is the Giants at the Steelers Monday night. This is going to be a gross game to watch. I think the Steelers should be able to win this super easily. I think Russ in his second start, he looked pretty solid in his first start. His efficiency was a little low, but besides that, I mean, he had lots of touchdowns. They had the most points scored of the season so far. I think the Steelers are going to win this one easily. Next is the Vikings at the Rams Thursday night. Vikings, they're good. However, they've been a little lower the last couple of weeks. Their defense has been doing really well to start, and then they've fallen off a little bit. However, I don't think the Rams' offense is good enough to play with them. Cooper Kupp coming back is big for them, but I don't think it's going to be enough to push them to a victory. I got to go with the Vikings in this one. The Falcons at the Buccaneers. I've been liking this division a lot. They've been a lot of close matchups. This was almost the game of the week, but unfortunately, with the injuries to both Godwin and Evans, I think this should be one that the Falcons can get fairly easily. They just need to be able to outpace the Buccaneers, and I think with those weapons missing, they should be able to do it. But that's not to say I'm going to count out Baker Mayfield. He's been playing pretty well this season, and I think it'll still be close, but the Falcons should be able to get the edge here. Next is the Bears at the Commanders. Now, this could also potentially be a game of the week. The Bears have a pretty good record so far. However, I don't think it's real. I think it's a fairly fraudulent 4-2. And unfortunately, Jaden Daniels is likely missing this week. So Washington's without their star guy. That's another reason why they are not the game of the week. But they were close to being the option there. I still think Washington gets the win here. I think their team overall is better, and I think Mariota fits decently well with the scheme they've been running with Daniels. I think he can do a lot of it as well. I don't think you should change the offense up too much, and I think they are the better team, and I'm still not hot on the Bears. And finally, we have the Cowboys at the 49ers. This is going to be a gross game. The Cowboys look awful, and 49ers, man, they have so many injuries, and Purdy can't play unless he has 7 All-Pros, so I think it's still going to go to the Niners. They should win. They are the better team, but it'll be potentially a lot closer than it should be, I think. So that is all for the predictions this week. Make sure to stop by again, and I'll see you later.